is Markeia McCarty with AfterBuzz TV, and I'm here with Eric Kripke and Shawn Ryan. These are the executive producers of NBC's new show, Timeless, and that's coming to you this fall. Okay, so the time-traveling genre is a personal favorite of mine. Oh my goodness. Doctor Who, Quantum Leap, everything. This seems like, I saw the trailer, and it seems like a really great addition to the genre. What are some of the things that are going to attract some of those fans to make this their new favorite?
Yeah, I mean, Timeless is fun. I mean, that's what we would say. It's a big, swashbuckling action show with a lot of heart and humor and really grounded, complicated characters. And it's like, it's a throwback to when time travel used to be fun, when it totally wasn't just a mindfuck. And like, you know, Quantum Leap and Back to the Future and early Spielberg movies, but with, you know, but done in a very current and contemporary way. You know, we think we're having a blast writing it, and we think the viewers are going to have a blast watching it.
Awesome. Shawn, Eric brought up complicated and grounded characters. We know in the trailer that you have one of the actors that just goes ahead and states the obvious of not wanting to be a black person in any part of American history, but it seems like that was handled in a very interesting way. I mean, what are other things that we can expect from?
Well, we hope so. You know, Malcolm Barrett plays Rufus, and as it turns out, he's the only person capable of operating the time machine that can go chase Garcia Flynn, and so he has to go on this mission, but things are better in 2016 than they were in 1937 or the second episode, 1865. And so there's a lot of worry and concern on his part. And it allows us in a really interesting way, because it's hard, I think, to do a contemporary story and do a real good job talking about things like racism, for instance. But when you go back to 1937 in a time travel show, you can do it in humorous ways and in different sort of slightly left-hand turn ways. You can touch on these subjects in ways that you can't do with contemporary dramas. So yeah, he's kind of like the comic relief of the show, but he's also super smart, and seeing him try to navigate his way through these various time periods is a blast to write. It's going to be fun to see him play it.
Nice. I appreciate that, because sometimes when you have period shows, you know, there's perhaps not a great representation that could happen, but it seems like NBC's kind of stepping to the forefront with that and going about this in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, look, the truth is so much of history is the history of a bunch of rich white dudes. and what Rufus gives us, and the character Lucy, played by Abigail Spencer, is it lets us get into a lot of historical stories that are untold. You know, what was it like to be, for instance, an African-American soldier coming back from the Civil War in 1865? What is it like to be a woman then, or a woman in a lot of different time periods? And so we get to not just show like some of the iconic moments in history, but Timeless really gets to delve into some of the, you know, details that people don't know. And so I think it's really interesting terrain to cover.
That's great. I mean, that's something like Doctor Who did with Martha Jones, where, yes, she's traveling through time, but it's not an issue, or it's dealt with in a really good way. Right. That makes me really excited for this series, definitely. What are some... okay, so there's a lot of fandoms out there that are time-related. For some of those fandoms, like, let's say, Doctor Who or Timeline, there are people that like that movie. What are some of those fandoms that might be gravitated towards Timeless? Like, this should be the next thing that they should watch.
There's nobody who likes Timeline.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you're wrong about that.
There has to be someone somewhere, Eric. Somewhere.
There's literally nobody. Wow, really? Like the whole Paul Walker thing and okay, all right, cool.
Stand corrected.
All right, I stand corrected.
So some other time fandoms. Yeah.
You know, I think for us, we really look at it as a historical adventure. I mean, what we really love is that we're throwing these characters into these amazingly diverse and interesting periods in history, and then watching them like navigate with incredibly high stakes and under the gun and incredibly stressed, and to me that's what's really fun. Like, it's really exciting. And, you know, I mean, look, at the end of the day, any TV show works or doesn't work based on whether you like the characters. And I think we have characters that have an amazing amount of chemistry, are a real family. The actors play them brilliantly, and we're just going to watch this family come together and be able to fight for each other.
Nice. Well, absolutely love this. Gentlemen, I'm very excited for this show. It seems like a cross of everything, good representation, but also good nerd representation. That's right. With everything. So,
This
yes.
guy makes sure that we have the nerd representation.
Anyone who likes Supernatural is going to really dig Timeless. There's a lot of the same issues are in it, so for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you. This is Shawn Ryan and Eric Kripke, the executive producers of Timeless, coming to you this fall at NBC.
Thank you.
Thank you.